Hi, my name is Mark McKnight and welcome to this lesson in jazz guitar with learnitplayit.com. In this lesson we're going to take a closer look at a progression that you will already know from some of our previous lessons. This is called the minor 2-5-1. As you know, this is a common progression and it comes up in standard tunes time and time again. The purpose of any 2-5-1 is to make the one chord sound like a target by building tension on the 2 and the 5. In this respect, the minor 2-5-1 functions exactly the same as the major 2-5-1. So when this tension is resolved on the one chord, we have a sense that it's the point of arrival in the progression, which is satisfying to our ears and keeps the chord progression moving forward. So let's start by playing some minor 2-5-1 chord patterns, and then we're going to figure out what modes work over these. We're also going to take the licks from the lesson in major 2-5-1s as a basis for this lesson. So the minor 2-5-1 vocabulary, which is going to be included at the end of this lesson, will be based upon the major 2-5-1 vocabulary presented earlier. This is going to have the advantage of allowing us to compare the two sets of vocabulary and see which notes are most influential when it comes to creating a distinction between the minor and the major 2-5-1 lines. Okay, so as the major 2-5-1 lines were in E flat major, we're going to play the minor 2-5-1s in the parallel minor key, which is obviously E flat minor. So in this key, the chords are going to be F minor 7 flat 5, B7 and E flat minor 7. As before, we're going to comp this 2-5-1 in two areas of the neck, one in the kind of middle area and another maybe in a slightly higher register. So let's just check out the chords first of all. The first chord we're going to be dealing with is F minor 7 flat 5. Now, because we're using root and guide tone voicings, they have no fifth, so in fact what we're dealing with is simply the same F minor 7 shape as we're used to. We're going to imply the flat 5 in our soloing over it. Then moving on, we've got B flat 7, which is exactly the same as before, and now resolving to E flat, the one chord. This time instead of E flat major, we've got E flat minor 7. So this was major 7, and this is minor 7. So the chords are 2, 5, 1. Okay, now let's do that in slightly higher register. Again, F minor 7 flat 5 for us is the same in terms of the voicing as F minor. B flat 7 is going to be the same, the 5 chord, and our 1 chord is E flat minor 7 this time as opposed to major 7. Okay, so now that we've checked out the voicings we're going to be using to comp through this progression, let's consider what modes and arpeggios are going to be appropriate for each of the chords. So on the 5 chord, on the 2 chord, which is F minor 7 flat 5, we're going to be playing the mode F Locrian natural 9. Now this is the 6th mode in the key of A flat melodic minor. So let's look at how this particular mode fits over each of the chord shapes that we have for F minor 7 flat 5, and also check out the arpeggios. So first of all, in the middle position, here's your arpeggio for F minor 7 flat 5. Okay, that's just 1, flat 3, flat 5 or diminished fifth, flat 7, and then it just repeats. Okay, and now let's have a look at the mode. So we're going to be playing F Locrian natural 9, which is the 6th mode of A flat melodic minor. So all we're doing is playing A flat melodic minor over this chord, F minor 7 flat 5. That's going to sound like this. Okay, let's move up to our higher position then. There's our F minor 7 chord. Here's our arpeggio first of all. F minor 7 flat 5. Now let's check out our A flat melodic minor scale, which is going to, over this chord, give us F Locrian natural 9. Okay, so that's the material you're going to need to solo over the 2 chord in this progression. So at this stage, let's move on to the 5 chord, which is going to be B flat 7. Now, in a minor 2-5-1, we always use the altered scale on the 5 chord. As we know, the altered scale is the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale. Therefore, to get B flat altered, which is what we need for this progression, we have to play a C flat melodic minor scale over a B flat 7 chord. As C flat and B are the same note, it might be easier for you to think of C flat melodic minor as B melodic minor. It's just whatever works for you. So this mode will look like this over the shape of B flat 7 that we already have. Okay, now the arpeggio we're going to put with this is going to be maybe slightly different than you would get if you just took alternate notes from the scale. If you remember correctly, if you just take alternate notes from the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale, you get a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, but that isn't really what we want to use on this. We want to use a dominant arpeggio of some kind, and the one I'm going to recommend we use goes like this. It takes the 1st degree of the scale, the 4th degree of the scale, which is the major 3rd effectively, the 6th degree of the scale, which is a flat 13 or sharp 5, and the 7th degree of the scale, which is a flat 7. So it's a dominant 7th arpeggio with a sharp 5 or flat 13, and it sounds like this. Okay, so that's the middle area of the neck complete. So now let's look at the higher area. So first of all, our altered scale, B flat altered, which is B melodic minor played over that, is going to sound like this. Okay, and then our arpeggio, the dominant flat 13 arpeggio or dominant sharp 5, is going to sound like this. Right, so now let's move on to the 1 chord, which is of course E flat minor 7. So on this chord we're going to play E flat Dorian, which is of course the 2nd mode of the D flat major scale. Therefore, when we play the D flat major scale over an E flat minor 7 chord, we get to hear E flat Dorian. Sometimes we're going to use the E flat melodic minor scale in some of the examples I'm going to give. This serves to just create a little bit more tension on the 1 chord. It's only 1 note different than E flat Dorian, which is why it kind of works, in that it contains a natural 7th, which is D, as opposed to a flat 7th, which is D flat. That's the D flat we see in E flat Dorian. So these modes I'm going to play now in the 2 positions for you, and you get to you'll get to look at them and hear what they sound like. I'll play their arpeggios as well. So E flat minor 7. Here's the arpeggio. And now the mode shape, which is D flat major effectively. Now I'm going to play the arpeggio and scale of E flat minor major. So first of all the arpeggio. And now the scale, which is just going to be E flat melodic minor. Okay, so now let's move up and do this in the higher area of the neck. First of all, E flat minor 7 arpeggio. Then E flat Dorian. Which is of course just the D flat major scale played over an E flat minor 7 chord. And now E flat minor major, the arpeggio. And now the E flat melodic minor scale.